I have some concerns.
Okay, so before I get roasted alive by everyone, let's all agree to be reasonable and mature adults that can talk about a trailer and be able to discuss what we like and any criticisms or concerns that we have because, again, we are all adults, and everyone is allowed to like or not like something. People shouldn't have to be forced into liking something they don't, and vice versa. Anyways, let's talk about the actual trailer, which if you haven't heard already, or you're a Godzilla or Monsterverse fan that has been living under a rock for the past 2 years, but Godzilla x Kong The New Empire is the sequel to GVK and the next installment of the Monsterverse, and they recently just dropped a trailer. And there certainly is a lot to talk about. It begins with a montage of different geographical locations, many of which will most likely be where some of the action scenes take place. All this with Rebecca Hall's character talking about how he previously didn't think anything else could live on the Earth, but how we were wrong. I couldn't bother to look up the character's name because simply,
I don't care.
We then get to see a hole appear in Egypt next to some of the pyramids with a giant Kong hand coming out sporting a fancy bionic attachment.
Who could be so careless to lose an arm? Not mine.
This is probably one of the major things we see in the trailer, and I'm going to be honest, on paper it's a cool idea, it might be really fitting for a tone of a different movie, but it just reminds me of one of my problems with GVK, and that's the advancement of technology in the movies. And trust me, it looks like it's been elevated in this one, which is where I bring one of my concerns, and that's this level of technology in this universe at this time is just too unbelievable. I know, cue all the people yelling at me for complaining about realism in a movie with a giant gorilla that wields a giant axe made out of the backspike of a giant radioactive atomic breath-breathing lizard, but it's distracting when it's such a jump from the previous installments of the Monsterverse. And they all had realistic levels of technology, or any fictional pieces of technology in them seemed plausible. Heck, even GVK, I was fine with the idea of Mechagodzilla, as weird as it sounds, but I thought the heaves were too much. Add on the whole Hollow Earth sci-fi hyperspace portals, and I just don't like how much the Monsterverse has jumped the shark in that degree. And I know this isn't just a me thing, it's definitely something that I've heard others criticize the Monsterverse for. The bionic arm is at least kind of mechanical looking and not super futuristic, and at least the rule of cool is at least somewhat justifiable for its existence. Plus, I can only imagine all the Thanos and Kong memes that'll come from this movie, so at least it's got meme potential. I guess between this and the Axe, Kong is just trying to cosplay as an overpowered Marvel character. I mean, what's the next thing he's gonna get? A full suit of armor, a giant bow with special trick arrows, 10 magical rings, a cloak of levitation, web swingers, a pointy helmet that makes him look like a reindeer and allows him to create swords from nothing. Are you done? We do still have incredibly standard looking spacecrafts that look like they flew straight out of a Star Fox game, which I'm just so excited for. I'm sure y'all can't wait to hear me bitch and moan about that some more in the actual movie review. We see Kong get chased by some new Hollow Earth creatures, which kind of look like a depiction of Hyenodon in a documentary I watched, but should provide Goji Center with some content about all the new critters that will be in this movie. I'm kidding, guys, I'm actually a big fan of that channel and really love the work and effort they put into their content. That's kind of what this trailer felt like to me. A trailer of all the cool stuff that's gonna be in the movie that fans can speculate over. So the literal definition of a trailer? You got me there, I'll give you that. Next, the major scene is actually kind of humorous, and that is going to bring up a whole lot of questions, but Kong sees a giant ape-like shadow figure approaching him and prepares to fight it, despite it being 4 times his size, only for it to reveal to be a baby Kong. Yes, I know it's probably not going to be a full-blooded Kong, most likely a hybrid between Kong and the Scar King based on the orange fur, but roll with me. I will say Kong's reaction kind of kills me. I know it's probably going to be the first time that he's seen another member of the species since his parents' death, and is meant to be a, oh shit, there's more of me? But it almost comes across as, that lying bitch said she was on birth control. Well, time to go get the milk from the gas station. Jokes aside, I kind of hope Kong ends up adopting the baby, because I think that could make for a really interesting idea and concept, especially if executed right, and could even lead to some very emotional moments in the film. We are also treated to the discovery of a secret tribe of Kongs, and lo and behold, the Scar King. God, that's such a stupid name. What, was Evil Balding Monkey too cartoony for this movie? Because it's not like it's clearly a sci-fi Saturday morning cartoon already. Did just plain Scar involve a cease and desist from Disney? Is he gonna sing Be Prepared? Actually, that sounds kind of dope, not gonna lie.
And injustice deliciously square.
Dumb name aside, I do like the actual design of the meth-addicted King Louie. He does look creepy, and I feel like him and Kong's conflict might be somewhat similar to Caesar and Kobo's from the Planet of the Apes movies, but he might be wrong. But my boy Kong didn't even flinch. Like, it's cool, and I don't really have any problems with it, except maybe I'm sick of all these secret civilizations that are in these movies. But at least it's only gonna be limited to the Kong...
Ah! Damn it, damn it, damn it!
It will probably be fine, but how many more secret civilizations can we have in here? It's starting to rival that of the number of evil, shady organizations that are all apparently running the MCU simultaneously. Well, from the looks of it, Gia will probably be the magical MacGuffin for the Hollow Earth hippies, or it's gonna be her people that actually survive because f you, nobody ever is really gone. Besides, I
always come back.
Also, I want to add that I feel like the whole point of Skull Island and GVK is that Kong is the last of his kind, and I would say it kinda undercuts that when you realize, oh, there's a whole bunch of them, not just a few extra. We then get this line.
Kong can't stop this on his own.
He won't be alone.
Well, looks like the redesign leaks were true, and to be fair, it's better looking than the initial toy leaks looked. I personally like the redesign. It's not my favorite of the legendary Godzilla designs, but I still like it. But I definitely see why some people might not like it. It is cool to see him resemble the 2000 Millennium Godzilla, and the red, purple, pink atomic breath is cool, although I'm definitely more of a blue guy. But anything to have more people recognize how awesome all the Millennium designs are, especially the pink dorsal plate design, I'm all for. Overall, it's really nice to see at least Godzilla continue his story, since he just kind of pieced out at the end of GVK, so if this is the end of it, at least it'll be a more proper send-off, hopefully? We see Godzilla powering up and firing his ray, and then him and Kong burst out of the ground running, and if I'm gonna be honest, that final shot kinda looks terrible. I know the CGI isn't done, and I get that Godzilla is thinner and probably powered up, but he doesn't feel as large as the 2014 film made him feel. Heck, even the 2019 and 2021 film made him feel bigger. He moves way too fast here, and I feel like he runs way too similar to Kong, which is a problem because they're very different creatures, anatomically speaking, so they shouldn't be running exactly the same. I legit thought this was a crossover with some kind of ad for Raid Shadow Legends. Hopefully it'll be more polished up before, because yeah, that final shot was borderline yikes for me. Which is weird, because there was kind of a lot of shots in the trailer that looked definitely unfinished and the CGI looked very questionable. Which is weird because other shots look, you know, the quality that we expect. So to see a lot of really unfinished CGI in this trailer, just a bit of a head scratcher. Overall, I did enjoy the trailer, and I probably do enjoy it the more I watch it, but here's the thing. The Godzilla fanboy side of me is super hyped and excited for this film. However, on the other hand, my film fan side just kind of sees a lot of potential criticisms I can see myself having problems with this movie, and that's just me. I don't think people should let other people decide how you feel about something, and more certainly not me. I'm just here to give my 2 cents and at least maybe offer some other perspectives that you haven't heard. Another thing that I think is harder for me is seeing that this movie is going to most likely not have a good human character story, and I will bet a large sum of money that I'm right on that one. And it's gonna have a lot of action to carry it through. And again, that's fine. Don't get me wrong. I love a good movie where it's just fun action. It's just a little frustrating since we did just get Godzilla -1, which has excellent characters and a story, and still maintain some of the best Godzilla action. And just because something is more serious or more artsy and mature doesn't mean that it can't still have some awesomeness in it. Yes, I know that's not a real world. And it just goes to show that we can still get objectively good and fun movies. We don't just have to get fun, but not good movies. But hey, that's the beauty of Godzilla, ain't it? We can have multiple different versions of the character exist with varying tones, and that they don't take away from one another. That's one of the reasons Godzilla has such a big appeal to him. There is a movie for everyone that fits their own personality and likes. I mean, at the very least, I think it's going to be mostly enjoyable and fun. The question is the amount of stupid going to outweigh the enjoyment? Hopefully not, and criticisms aside, I am still pretty hyped for this movie. with it definitely being on my top 10 projects coming out in 2024. So you can all put your pitchforks down and extinguish your torches because I still enjoyed the trailer, okay? So what do you all think of the trailer? Love it? Hate it? Liked it but have some concerns? Comment them down below because I'm Cameron Fraser. Spink all those buttons, stay safe out there, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye.